As a product marketing manager, I run large-scale events at work, but organizing those often involve complicated spreadsheets, crazy formulas, and dozens of team members. In this video, I'll go over how you can plan and organize personal events like birthday parties all by yourself using a simple Notion template. I found this to be an important life skill because when I was younger, my invitations to my friends' parties always seemed to get lost in the mail, and so my parents told me I didn't need friends. I could just host my own birthday parties that were way more fun. As you can see, the overall structure is very simple. An overview of the event at the very top here with toggle blocks I can use to quickly access information like venue name and date. Key info section on the left here with the 6 elements that all events have to take into account, an empty archive page to throw outdated information into, and an action items table on the right that lets me clearly see what my next step is. Starting with the overview callout block. The event brief is just you brainstorming what the event's going to be about. Is it a casual dinner party with 10 friends or a bachelor party with 60 bros? What you write here will and should affect your action items and how you plan the overall event. Once you have a date, time, and venue, write that down in a venue and logistics toggle block so you can easily access that information. For example, I usually take a screenshot from Google Calendar and highlight the date so my friends can visually see when the event is happening. Moving over to action items, you can see that each item represents a key milestone that needs to be reached to push the event planning forward. There's also a corresponding status, due date, and item type. The action item type includes normal activities like confirming event date and location, paying deposit for venue, and as you can see in the confirm food and beverage page here, I've included the menu and quotation directly within this page for easy reference. The comms item type is where you're sending communication to event attendees, like sending the invitation, a confirmation, or a reminder message. We'll talk more about that and what wave 1 and 2 means when we get to the comms page. And when it comes to planning these action items, you can just start off with a few key milestones off the top of your head and just add more as you go along, since each event is going to be different. Oh, and if you're new here, this template, link down in the description, make a copy, follow along. Pro tip, I like to sort all my views by due date ascending and include the event date at the very bottom here as a visual reminder to see how close each action item is to that date. Pro tip number 2, if you find yourself adding the same milestones or action items for each new event, include a button in your events template so that when you click it, the default action items populate automatically. By the way, this video is not sponsored by Notion, but it is supported by those of you who subscribe to my paid productivity newsletter. Link in the description to learn more. Moving over to the timeline page here, this is just a calendar view of the milestones database we just went over, where you can see all your action items in a nice visual format. To show you how I got here, let me first duplicate this header, Command D, and underneath, insert table view. Select the party milestones database we just went over, select new empty view, calendar view, toggle off the database title to keep it clean, no need to change any of this, click done. Then go to properties and choose to show item type and status, no need to show due date since it's already in a calendar view. Exit out, go to that corresponding month, and there you go. You can change this to week view if you have a lot going on every day. I usually keep it as month, but I would recommend duplicating this view, renaming it to WIP, which stands for work in progress. Filter, status is not done, and now you can see all the action items you have not completed yet. This timeline view is super useful for you to reference, obviously, but I also usually screenshot it to share how the planning is going with others. The invitees page is pretty self-explanatory. It's just a database to keep track of friends you've invited, their status, invited, maybe confirmed or declined, and whether or not they're bringing +1 so you can get an accurate head count. This follow-up view filters for people who haven't responded. Their status is invited or maybe, so I know I need to follow up with them. And in the confirm view, I have the count all at the very bottom here, and I sum up all the +1s. So I know at a glance, right now, there is 19 people coming. And you'll notice I don't have a separate view for people who have declined because they're dead to me. I'm serious. I'm not even kidding this time. I take it pretty personally. My friends know this. Pro tip, even if you have the most reliable friends who have confirmed, last minute emergencies do happen, so it's always safe to assume a 20% drop-off rate, meaning 80% of people will show up. This is actually the industry standard for offline B2B events. All right, comms page, and this is where my anal personality and general uptightness really shines through, as if it hasn't already. So there are 3 types of communication for any given event: the invitation, the confirmation, and the reminder. And they each have a slightly different objective. The call to action, or CTA, of the invitation is to get a yes or no response so you can update the RSVP list accordingly. The CTA of the confirmation is to have the confirmed individual add the event to their calendar, so the wording reflects this. And the reminder is to get them excited about the event, so you can share teasers like images of the venue and the cocktail menu for the night. Now, to explain why wave 1 and wave 2 are necessary, imagine you invite 2 friends to your party, Jeff and Elon. Jeff the reliable responds immediately. Elon the unreliable responds yes 2 weeks later. In your WhatsApp or Instagram group with all the confirmed attendees, you don't want to be radio silent for 3 whole weeks, so you send the wave 1 confirmation message by the end of week 1. And you send the week 2 confirmation message by the end of week 3, after all the slow and unreliable people have responded. For reminders, wave 1 might be sent 1 week before the event date, wave 2 might be sent 1 day before the event date, and wave 3 might be sent 2 hours before the event start time. Wouldn't dating me be great? That's a fucking miracle I'm still single. Pro tip, if you want to be super extra like me, you can use a free tool like Canva to create your invitation, confirmation, or reminder messages to really engage with your attendees. I'm not even kidding, I literally do this. I'll show you examples. Cost page, super self-explanatory, just a table keeping track of what you're paying for, how much it is, and whether funds have been successfully transferred. At this point, for 99% of personal events, these 4 pages are more than enough. For more advanced events, you might want to add promotion channel and content pages. Let's say you're planning a wedding. You're sending invitations out through email, regular post, WhatsApp, Instagram. These are all different promotion channels, right? And you need to keep track of each one. For content, let's say there's an MC hosting the wedding. The bride has to speak, the groom has to speak, the parents may want to speak, so you can keep track of all the speaker content and how ready they are in that page. Here's a huge bonus tip for those of us who link our projects and tasks databases together. In my projects database, you'll see that I have an event template here, right? I create an event, I'll name this New Year's Eve party. And after I expand this, let's say under this table, I add confirm venue. If I scroll to the right, you'll see that this task or action item has been automatically related to this project through something called a self-referential filter. What's more, if I choose a due date to be today, and I go to my home screen, I see that the confirmed venue task that is related to the New Year's Eve party project show up in my 7-day view here, since I've linked my all tasks database with my all projects database. If you want to learn how to do this, check out Thomas Frank's step-by-step tutorial. I'll link it over here. See you on the next video. In the meantime, have a great one.